Hello everyone, welcome to a 2024 Nissan Sentra S. So obviously this is the base model. They start at just over $20,000 US. 149 horsepower from a 4-cylinder engine. Obviously they have the CVTs, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you know, fuel economy. And as you can see, we'll start off the bat just talking about the acceleration, because it's, you know, the performance of these isn't really going to be the highlight of the video. But right off the bat with the acceleration, obviously you press the gas all the way to the floor. CVT does its magic, ends up rubber banding you forward, and really that's the propulsion. But you know, you're not gonna be able to pass much on the highway. It's kind of a slug of a car, but you know, that's not really why people buy these things. So just at standard cruising speeds, it's pretty comfortable, given we're also on really smooth roads today. Overall, you know, this thing rides smooth. First impressions of the interior, so we'll start with the seat. So the seat is comfortable, just a standard, you know, like cloth. It's kind of like a furry cloth too. So it might get a little warm in the summer to be sitting here. There's no heated seats. All the seats are just manual. You know, it's a base model, so you're not really gonna get many bells and whistles in here. The manual adjustments on the back portion of the seat, where you control, you know, how far you're leaning forward or back, I would say that the increments could be a little bit smaller and easier to adjust. But overall, you know, manual adjustment seat, it's fine. Seating position wise, I can't seem to get as low as I would want in this car. You know, I'm not a very tall guy. I'm about 5'9", pretty close to the ceiling as far as where my head sits. I would like to be a little lower in this car, but also again, not a huge deal. Legroom, I don't have much as far as width goes. Like, I can't really spread my legs as much as I would want. Kind of weird to say. But overall, I would definitely say that on long road trips, this would get tiresome, as like there's not a lot of space for me to put my legs because the cockpit is a little tight. So the overall design of the interior is fine. I do enjoy the new screen that we have in here compared to the 2020 Nissan Sentra S that we reviewed. But I will say that I wish it leaned more towards the driver, kind of like my Elantra does. Just the way so you can see the screen, especially if there's glare. I could imagine that it might be a little difficult to see if the screen doesn't get bright enough on, you know, really bright days. But this Nissan Sentra does come with Apple CarPlay. It's wired, so you can plug in your phone right when you get in the car, and it hooks up right away. Even if you're on a rush and your passenger has to hook it up, you can do it while you're driving, which is good. While your car's not in park, as you know, sometimes with the Bluetooth connections, you can only do it when you're parked, and it can be kind of a hassle. This is easy, plug in and go. As far as ease of access, this car does not have keyless entry. It does have remote start, but why have remote start if you have to use your key to get in the car anyways? That's the part I never understand, is if you're gonna offer remote start, also offer keyless entry. That way it actually makes sense as far as the convenience factor of having it. But you know, it's probably a lot cheaper to just put push button starts in all the cars instead of, the standard turn ignition. Whereas keyless entry, has a sensor, so, maybe that is a little more, a little less cost effective for them to do for all their models. The steering wheel in this car is nice. It's just standard plastic, so it's not great to, like put your hands on, but as far as the shape, I don't mind flat bottom steering wheels, and also has these notches in the back to put your fingers. So overall, definitely it's easy to put your hands on. I would say 9 and 3 in this car. So the 2024 Nissan Sentra also comes with a little bit of an upgraded interior as far as trim and design. We have leatherette on the doors and, on this center console here, and some nice stitching. Overall, I feel like it does feel a little larger in here than the Nissan Sentra from 2020, but might just be a new car feeling. Obviously, since this is a base model, you're going to see a lot of blank buttons throughout the car, just kind of a crappy thing to see, but oh well, can't really remove the trim piece, so you just kind of have to make it so the button is not a button, it's just a flat piece you leave blank. So audio wise, I would say that the speakers in this car are just fine. They definitely have a good surround sound feeling, but they don't have much bass to them. The sound is just kind of average economy sedan. It's nothing crazy, nothing special, but it'll get you by. If you're not an audiophile, you probably won't even care. But as I remind people, even if you do get a base model that comes with, kind of crappy speakers, you can always go to Best Buy, buy speakers, and even if you don't know how to install them, they'll install them for you. So there's quite a large delay when it comes to, pressing the gas and waiting for some acceleration. I would say that the only time that this will kind of get you in a bit of a pickle is if you're accelerating onto the interstate. Just because if you're trying to get in front of somebody and you're anticipating, some acceleration from your car, it'll happen probably about a half second slower than you think it will, so just keep that in mind. As far as smoothness from the CVT, it's fine. I mean, like, you don't really get the sense of shifting, obviously, because it's just kind of like a rubber band, but you really only notice the transmission upon hard acceleration. Visibility wise, everything is good in this Nissan Sentra. You have a pretty large greenhouse for modern car standards today. Big side windows, decent sized mirrors, decent sized rear view mirror. Your rear windshield does sit a little higher, just like in a lot of cars being sold today. So obviously it does help that you have a backup camera. Fuel economy wise, I've been getting about 30 miles a gallon. I would say for highway it's rated to up to 40. So your mileage may vary, but obviously it depends on what tires you're rocking and the conditions, if you're using your air conditioner, or how your road conditions are. So obviously Nissan has always been known to be at the bottom dollar of new cars. And so what makes Nissans appealing is that you can get a brand new car for probably the lowest price on the market. With this Nissan Sentra starting at just over $20,000, there's not a lot of brand new cars you can get for that price point. So with that being said, would you choose a brand new Nissan Sentra S over, say a pre-owned Honda Accord, or like a Hyundai Elantra, something that has a little bit more features but also comes with mileage and comes with an ownership history? And that's really up for you to decide. I will say that if you're not going to miss having heated seats or keyless entry or a sunroof, which also this car doesn't have, like, those features, if you don't miss them, if you've never had them, you won't miss them. But if that's not something that's important to you, yeah, maybe opt for the brand new car. With that being said, Nissan kind of has a standard warranty. It's nothing crazy. It's not like Hyundai and Kia where they have the 100,000 mile powertrain warranty, so keep that in mind too. I think overall I wouldn't choose to buy one of these personally. I just want more in my cars. I want heated seats, I want all the nice features because I have such long commutes typically. So a good price comparison to this Nissan Sentra would definitely be, the Toyota Corolla. Like, how much can you get one of those for? What other features does it come with that this one doesn't? Things like that. Definitely shop around, because I would say that Nissan doesn't have the best reputation for being reliable. The owner of this Nissan Sentra had one previously that was a 2020. That is actually the first car I reviewed on this channel, and that car had loads of problems. It went through 2 different windshields. There was dents that came with the car from the factory, or in transport, brand new. There was also a constant water leak coming into the car, so like if it was raining or if the owner went through a car wash, she would actually feel water at her feet and on her passenger side as well. So just weird issues. Also, like, her door would freeze over. Like, the door seals let water in, and then the water freezes when it's cold. and then she wouldn't be able to get in and out of her car. So just weird build quality issues like that kind of steer me away from Nissans, but you know, your mileage may vary. Overall, I think they do struggle from having a consistency in their build quality. With that being said, please like and subscribe for more content, and we'll actually do a follow-up video on this exact car, you know, a little bit later into its mileage and see how it's holding up.